So here's the parts out of the bag.
Anytime you're ready.
All the new parts. It's going.
Now we're going to just take it and wipe any debris out of the tank that's there. And on the bottom, same thing, just wipe any debris out of the tank here. This is going to be a fresh seal going in. Okay, and now just the install. First this one. This is something we probably won't need to use at all. Because there's one already on there, but I've had to use them before. And this is the filler, comes off, and there's a, this is going to go on the outside and the other side, back on. But first you're going to have a little button here, and you're going to take this button and push it down, and you're going to be able to turn this to one side or the other. Let's see. There, it turns like that, turns to the left. And then you're able to pull that up and back. And once you get it in, you're going to lock it like that, and now it won't move. So I push the button. If you have to do it push the button and turn it to the left. And that's going to be, so it's movable. And I move that all the way up. And that's ready to go in, okay? So, it's got a little tube on it that's going to come off it. This tube's going to go on, so I want to keep that tube to the right, so I can hook it in there. Okay, in it goes. And don't need this little thing that is an extra piece. And it just goes and it gets hand tightened. That's it, okay? Okay, let's get it on. Make sure that the nipple is to the left. There it is. And you're just going to hand tighten this. And that should be enough. This up back here. That's it. Okay, and the second now is the actual device goes in. It comes apart like this. You push it to, just turn this, and it'll unlock, and then you can lock it back in later. But unlock, lock. So we're going to unlock it. Unlocks to the right, locks to the left. Okay, so now I'm going to put this part of it in. And what I like to do is actually, I like to have it so that I can see the levels. The levels are here. I move this one all the way up. That's the bottom flush. It seems in these toilets it works best up. So it's the least flush. And this one, I move up to it's one notch below, right between 7 and 8. It seems to work well. You can see there are numbers along here. I hide 7 and go to 8. It seems just below 8. The long line below. It seems like it's a good spot. And I'm going to keep that so it can be easily adjusted if I have to. I don't want to put it in a part of the tank I can't get to. So the gasket stays on, and the two parts are going to go on the bottom. So it just goes straight in. Oh, and before I'm doing that, it might be easier to just put these two gasket bolts, these two bolts with the rubber gasket in first. So they're just going to go in the holes that are in the bottom, one in each one. One right, one left. And then this has the gasket on it. And I'm going to have the ring, and I'm going to try to, when I put it in, I'm just going to keep this tube to the right, just put it in about like that. That way I can get to both of these if I need to later on. There's enough room in the tank. And this will be, yeah, that's fine. This has enough room. That should be fine. Okay. Then I centered this. You can see it's a little bit loose, so it can go to both sides. So I center it so the gasket's centered. Hold it tight. And then this ring plus this goes on. And again, I'm going to hand tighten this. Just tighten it, but hand tighten it. That's all. And then I'm going to just do another 1/8 of a turn with, why not? Just another Little turn there. We're fine. Okay, now we're ready to go up. So we're gonna.
Does the small one need another
more.
eighth turn too?
No,
Okay.
I think you're fine because that has a lip, an extra lip. You can't grip
Okay.
this one that much. I don't know if this one needs an eighth turn. Okay, this has to swing full left and right. So hold it up so it swings full left and right.
Got it.
And we'll have to take the little nut off. And you'll see the top, there's a little hole in the top. As it swings full left and right, this top hole will be showing. So you know that's the top. And now you're going to put this into this square hole here, the square gasket. I've lined it up so it's square. That can twist. So that can twist like that, right like that. And then this goes onto here. That just screws on normally. And then it swings left and full left and right. That's right.
So that's not a left-handed thread this
No,
time.
this is not. And what's going to happen is this also is going to go. You have to press down on this little blue tab, and this goes down, and this goes over this, and it fits on, and it should go right on. Let's see if it does. And there it is. So it's now that's your 2-1 flush is ready to go there. This goes onto here. That just goes. There you go. That's your overfill valve, which is going into here. And now we're ready to install. Okay, so I have 2 sets of screws, nuts here. A set of them. And I'm just going to. Oh, one more thing. Can't forget that. The large gasket gets put on here and actually does fit flush against the back of the bottom of the toilet. That fits flush. There you go. So it's ready to go. Let's see if it's flush on the other side. Yes. Yeah, it is. Okay, and now I'm just going to go straight on back and down. Okay. Let's see what I've got going here. Let's see that. Okay, there we go. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the water feed, and make sure that it's in the hole. Yeah, it's ready to go on that side. Not putting it on yet. And then I'm going to put these bolts back in. This should see correctly. So line them, the 2 of them up together, the nut with hold the nut, and then just screw it on semi-tight. I'm going to do that on both sides. Pull the gasket down a little bit. Okay, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Okay, just semi-tighten them up. Now I'm going to use my drill gun one more time. Put it on tighten. And we go. Snuggle up a little bit. Okay. Now I've set this to be a tighten a certain amount. The drill gun okay. Okay, the last thing I have to do, next to the last thing I have to do, is just put on the water supply. Come on over and take a look at that. It's this nut here. one of these nuts here. And that's going to go back up. And I'm going to tighten that, as tight as I can by hand, and then just about a quarter turn more. If you do it any more than that, you're going to crack it because it's a plastic piece. So here, this goes back on, this goes on here. And I'm tightening it by hand. And it's by hand. And then just one more quarter turn, and that's it. Or eighth of a turn, actually. Let's see how much. A quarter turn. That should do it. And then oftentimes I also take the bottom, which is a 5/8 wrench, and since you've been working with it, they 90% of the time loosen up. So there's a little, the very bottom nut here. I just see if I can tighten it. Yeah, just a little bit. That keeps it from leaking. Now we're ready to fill. And that, okay, all ready to go. Okay, now we're filling, and this is, as it's filling, we'll see this is up to the maximum height from before. So we're at the maximum height. I'm going to make a mark at 4 inches and 4 and right now 4.5 and 6.5 on the back here, just so I know. Let's see, 6.5. That might be the first flush. Or 6, about 2 inches from the line down. Will probably be the first flush. We'll see. We'll see. I like to, from the original line down to the floor. It's about right. It can be adjusted. I'm just waiting for it to fill. And then when it does get to that line, I'm going to push this down and turn it to the right, and it'll lock it in, whatever, at that correct level.
Okay, we're running.
Okay, this is just go down slightly and turn to the left here to lock it. And this is again above the water line a couple of inches. That's great. So at least an inch above, and I'm going to lock it with that. That's good there. So now I'm going to do a flush. To the left is a half. Okay, that just did a short flush, and I heard it swirling down. So that was about 2 inches is right. And let's see if this goes up to the correct level. Once again, this tube has to be above the water line. So you've stuck it down a little bit, but make sure you adjust this. It's got to be above the water line by code. It's got to. So this should stop. Let's see if it does shortly. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So half flush is this. Half flush is that. It does vortex down, and then full flush, if you need it, you can continue and do that, and it'll full flush all the way. So I would say, always do a half flush, and then if you see you need it, just flip it to the right.
Okay.
And we're just about done. Put
And what
this
is
back on.
All right, put
And
that
where's
on,
that?
and then we got this piece of paper here.
Yeah, we have a sticker that says half or full flush, and that's gonna go right here, right above the flush, so you can see what's what. Okay, and then you're done. All right, and there you're done. That'll remind you half or full flush. We've just done a complete install.
All right,
Bye.
good job. Okay, Mr. Plumber.